Hey, it's your buddy Peace and Harmony with you here today. We are out here in nature. We're feeling the sun bathing the face. We're feeling the gentle breeze. Really how soothing and how calming and how healing really all of the natural elements can be. And sometimes really it is important to unplug from all the judgment, the criticism, the conflicts, the chaos that seems to surround really narcissistic people, family systems, work systems, and society systems as well, because oftentimes the economy is set up really to put people at narcissistic individuals at the helm of not only what you value, but what is put in front of you on such a daily basis, from whether it's something that's advertised, whether it's something that's promoted, or the groupthink mentality. It's so important for you to be able to really unplug from that system and really become attuned with what is really soothing. And if you're arriving at these answers for yourself, chances are you are on the right path. And I wanted to dive into a great viewer question that we got in, and that was that we had discussed on our channel, and that is really how to reprogram your mind, how to really get into a better mindset after being so so deep, in too far, in over your head with a hurtful, destructive, abrasive, abusive, and emotionally manipulative type of individual. Someone who really doesn't want you to be content. Someone who doesn't allow you to just be, or furthermore, just to be yourself. Oftentimes they're trying to undercut you, your lifestyle, your way of life, what you value, your natural rhythm, your natural pace, and really what's best in tune for you. And really, the body has a tremendous healing mechanism, which will begin to heal itself, the mind included, once you remove the toxins, the source of disease that oftentimes is perpetuating the disease in the first place. And if you are encountering a lot of discomfort in your relationships, and these are at the helm or at the forefront of your mind, which are causing you a lot of anguish and anger and things like that, really begin to unplug. And as you do that, you'll begin to be able to reprogram your mind. We had a very great question from a viewer, which is, how do you do that? Well, you have to understand that the mind is very much like a computer. And if you're all familiar with a device, a phone, a computer, it is programmed to behave and transact code in a specific way. So you give it commands and then it follows suit. Just like, the key to a car, you turn it in, you turn the crank, and it ignites the engine, etc., the piston. So there's a program, there's a sequence, there's a code, there's a communication. And now the mind is very much the same way, where your mind is programmed to feel, behave, think in specific modalities. It's almost like a habit. If you think of something that you do habitually, let's just say something that's automatic for you, like walking. Now, you don't have to think, pick up right, pick up left, pick up right, pick up left, bend your knee, flex your toe, flex your ankle, move your back, move your hip. You don't think about these things. This is what, a natural program. It's a natural function of the mind itself. So really, that is really part of the internal programming. And it becomes automatic. But if you've ever had an injury, you become more aware of it, you become more attuned, you become more mindful, and you might need to maybe have a different posture. You might need to realize that there's weakness in one side of your leg or pain in your back, and then you have to make adjustments. So, when we talk about really reprogramming the mind, it's very much the same way in terms of becoming aware of what is autonomic within your system. And that oftentimes has to do with your cognitions, how you think, how you feel, how you behave, what situations you plug into, what you resist, the people who you surround yourself with or don't, as well as how you actually feel and believe about yourself, what you're capable of, what you're worthy of. And furthermore, oftentimes this program, this operating system, is put in place by narcissistic or harmful, hurtful, or toxic type of individuals. Somebody who maybe doesn't have your best outcome, who doesn't have your best functionality in mind. So if they can put a virus into the system, if they can louse it up, if they can slow it down, if they can have it take detours, then they are basically at the helm and they are in control. They are the ones basically powering the system. When it's really important to really reclaim your programming and become more consciously aware of what you're saying to yourself, your self-talk, your emotions, your anger, your frustration, your happiness, your I want, your I am. One thing I find very interesting is that oftentimes when people first begin to discover, expose, or find that they're in a very caustic relationship with a narcissist, they become very uncomfortable with becoming on their own, independent, autonomous, or thinking, feeling, or behaving for themselves. And why is this so uncomfortable? Because they're not used to it. It's become so automatic to fight. It's become so automatic to just be there for this person, or to feel like you don't deserve, to be told repeatedly again and again and again the wrong messages, that you're not good enough, that you're not important, that you're stupid, that you're dumb, that you can't do this good enough, you're not organized, you're this, you're that. You have all these negative messages which are mirroring back to you, oftentimes erroneous and hurtful, and not encouraging, empowering, and supportive statements. And so this leads to what we call a programming of the mind. And it's very important to become aware of that, and not only that, but your self-talk with how you feel, because really, and it's like in the work of Dr. Joe Dispenza, what we tend to focus on grows, and what we tend to focus on also creates very strong neural highways in the brain. And these become really defined, almost like a well-worn groove in a pavement. If you've ever seen tracks that have been run over again and again and again, it begins to make a mark, it begins to make a groove, it begins to kind of wear down the pavement. Or if you've ever been in a forest and you've seen a well-trodden path, that's really what your neural network is like within your mind. And so if you're always told you're not good enough, you're not important, you're stupid, that won't work, all the negative messages which you are defenseless against, then you're going to continue to repeat that, and then it's going to make that groove in your mind. It's going to make that well-worn path. Your mind is automatically going to fall back into those feelings, those thoughts. And over time, pervasive thoughts and pervasive moods become an identity. It becomes a personality. And so oftentimes people say, I'm going through an identity crisis. I'm going through a midlife crisis. This has really turned me over the edge here. Well, basically what you're saying is, I don't like that groove. I don't like that funk. I don't like that blueprint. I don't like that well-worn path. I'm taking a step off of the path. I'm going into new ground. It might be a little scary. It might be uncomfortable, but I'm going to go there. I'm going to take one step after the other and go into new territory. And you will begin to do that, to reprogram your mind through the positive self-talk, through the I am, through the giving of supportive messages to yourself, to living in the solution, to getting rid of the negative people who have surrounded you with manipulation, who have caused you to be dependent, or you've had to enable, and it's just not working. And it takes courage to say no more, enough is enough. So if you have not had the courage or demonstrated that to go out on your own, maybe it's time to say, now is the time. This is it. My time is now. If peace is to be, it has to begin with me. And this is oftentimes called an awakening, but you have to become very conscious of that self-talk, realizing what you're saying to yourself, or your emotion, becoming more aware of it, and then consciously reprogramming your mind to attune to and focus in on the things that you want to feel. I want to feel loved. I want to feel free. I want to feel liberated. I want to feel at peace. I want to feel safe. I want to feel talented. I want to feel intelligent. I want to feel like I can make an impact. I want to feel like a leader. I want to feel like a hunter. I want to feel like a gatherer. All these different things are part of the very important affirmations that you need to begin to really get in place. And if you need to hold up your affirmations and write them down 1,000 times, believe me, they're going to stick. If you carry them on 3x5 cards, I am magnificent, I am talented, I am wonderful, I am lovable. and you repeat these over and over again, you're feeding yourself, you're feeding the mind the positive programming, the positive messages, so it can begin to operate like a computer. It will begin to operate along those commands. And then you will find yourself slowly beginning to manifest, like a computer programmer. You'll begin to manifest the feelings, experiences, thoughts, and emotions which are responsible for the healing and the personality change that you want to create. So it's very important that you put pen to paper, you begin to redesign your affirmations, your recovery journal, your blueprint, begin to design your life, really become an emotional architect moving forward, and reprogram your mind according to what you want to do, be, think, have, and become, and find this come into fruition and find it come into manifestation for you. Peace and harmony with you here today. I hope these videos do help. Please share and please subscribe for more great tools, videos, discussion, and support.